Hello there. Welcome to Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots. I'm Whitney, and today's video I'm excited to share with you some Dollar Tree wooden house frame, not some, but an idea I had. So I made a farmhouse style sign. It says home, and there were a lot of moving parts. So this is a good 22 minutes of, start to finish. So let me just jump right in. Here's one of the Dollar Tree home ladders. This was a home decor sign. It says home in it. We're going to use the letters. Then I've got a Dollar Tree rub-on, and then I've got 4 of those cute little wooden house frames that everybody has done some amazing stuff with. So I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew the colors and the textures I wanted in it. So we were going farmhouse all the way, by the way, because that's my obsession, and it is what it is. And you guys will either love it or not. So that little home thing, the home letters popped off very easy off the back of that. So they're just nailed in and a little bit of glue. So I took my 80 grit sandpaper. Now that sander is, I love that sander on Amazon. If you want to check it out, it's in my Amazon store. Link is in the description and in my pinned comment. So I ended up sanding off the glue that held them in between. I'm going to cut these letters apart, but the glue was kind of like, it was a little ugly, and I'm going to paint over these. I'm still going to keep them black, but I needed to get the glue off of that. So also there's my little desk vacuum. I find myself purposely making a mess so that I can use that vacuum. Is that normal? I mean, I don't purposely throw stuff on the floor to vacuum with my regular vacuum, but yeah, I might have a problem. So anyways, trying to get these home letters apart, not a problem at all. I was actually kind of scared in the store. I was like, well, should I buy a couple of these ladders? Because I was worried that, well, if I break one, and usually with Dollar Tree stuff, I've made it kind of a rule that if I don't know if it's going to come apart or not, I'll buy two of them so that I can completely destroy and obliterate one will be okay. So I just took a fresh box cutter, which there has a fresh razor blade in there, so be careful, and a ruler, and I just kind of lined it up and just scored it and just kept going over and over it until it popped apart. This wasn't hard at all. It might look a little like awkward there, but that's mostly my life. Kidding. Not really. It's just because I was using that little extra mat there, the little puppy pad underneath there for dust and debris and stuff. But I used my wire cutters there to get some of the other stuff off. So basically a lot of those letters, once I separated them from each other, they had pieces connected. And if you kind of roll the video back a little bit and you can pause or slow it down, you can see how they were really all connected. So I kind of had to make them letters again. Wasn't that hard at all. Very easy. So moving on to these houses, I'm going to score the inside of every house because I am not leaving these things together and cutting out paper. I've seen people do it, and in my opinion, you will never get a proper fit, and I wanted this to be crisp and clean and look good. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Popped them all out. Now I scored every single one of those on the inside with my box cutter. And then also now we're going to pull the papers off. We're going to get our sander out. Pull as much paper as you can off. Not important to get it all off, but get the glue and the extra little bits and bobs that are left behind. Get all that stuff off of there. That's a finger sander, also amazing. In my Amazon store, if you don't have one yourself, it's amazing. So this is a scrapbook paper, and it's a cardstock heavy pack of wood, 50 pieces in one. I got at Hobby Lobby. Now it said $8 on there, but I did not pay $8. But I love this paper. It is very farmhouse. I've got 5 different colors, 10 of them each, and I fell in love with it, so I snapped that right up. And actually I think I might go to Hobby Lobby and get more, because you guys, this is the new thing. You're going to see lots of stuff with that wood paper on it, because it's very, very cute, very farmhouse. Now this I'm using is an AdTech double-sided adhesive. It's a scrapbooking adhesive. I've had it for years, and let me tell you, once you put that down, there is no coming back. Now they make a purple one that has like a little bit of forgiveness in it. This is going to be permanent. So all I did was put that scrapbooking adhesive on it, and I put my little backing papers on there, and of course I did that for all 4. And what I'm going to do here is that same beautiful box cutter, because we got a fresh blade in it. Let me tell you, I had no problems cutting stuff. I am going to now just cut the outside of everything off, and we are going to have the cleanest, crispest, yeah, am I talking about chips here, Whitney? They're so clean and pretty. So moving on now. So we're not going to use the O, because we're going to use that cute little, eucalyptus rub-on transfer. But please explain to me why I decided to try to put this tape down wearing gloves. Yeah, anyway, so the best way I've seen to paint letters without having to hold them down or put your fingers on them or use a stick. I've seen someone do it, and I'm sorry guys, I can't remember who it is. So if you guys know who you've seen do it, go ahead and share that. I'm using black chalk paint there. Is to put that tape down as though you're making a loop of tape, and then stick your letters to that tape. The letters don't move. You can get all the sides and the edges, and I had no problem, and I didn't have to hold it. You can see, watch me right here, guys. Watch me. I am not having problems holding any of that down. And of course, if the letters are smaller or lighter, these are bigger letters, but in any event, I did not have to get my hands dirty, even though I'm wearing gloves. I have a tendency to make a huge mess when painting, and I'm not a messy person. I'm like completely neat and tidy. I won't say OCD because I don't have OCD, but I'm very organized and neat and tidy, so I don't like messes. So moving on, now I'm going to paint all of our house frames with Waverly chalk paint in the color Celery. I love this light green. I almost said flavor. I love this light green flavor. I love greens, and if you're new here, you'll find out that I live in the desert, and I crave any and all things green because I don't have them here. So like my yard, I have purchased trees and bushes, and yes, out here we have to buy those things because we don't have them. They shouldn't actually exist here, so it takes lots of water. Anyways, long story, I took that across the street, didn't I? Anyways, paint all of these house frames in this really light leafy green color. I mean, it's these sandy, sagey green colors. I don't believe that there is a shade of green that I don't like. I really don't. I'd say that, you know, I love anything that comes in pink. Pink is my thing, but green is my favorite color. I can't go wrong with green. So you guys might see me run towards or lean towards green a lot. Just know because it's my favorite color. Most of my house is neutral colors, but everything has green in it. I have greenery in everything. And then sometimes if I want to keep it neutral, it always ends up looking like almost like a wedding like wedding centerpieces, because I'll go with white or cream and then a lot of greenery. So now all of our goodies are painted on the edges and the inside. What I did here was I laid them out in the pattern I'm going to glue them together in, and I'm just putting a pencil mark on them so that I can paint them easily individually. I didn't want to secure them to each other yet because painting them would be a little bit more not cumbersome, but awkward, you know, because you have this longer piece. Now, I'm not worried that they're going to come apart, but once those were dry, we're going to use wood glue and hot glue, and I'm going to secure them together now. So I've got the insides, the edges, and the tops all painted. I did not paint the back because we're going to glue the backing back on. We're going to put the back on, back. And so I got these clamps at Lowe's. I love these little clamps, but you know, the combination of wood glue and hot glue. Now, don't mix them as much as you possibly can. Yes, we all know there's going to be there's going to be mixing no matter what because we're squishing it together. But as much as you can, give them their own space because the wood glue is going to bond with the wood, and then the hot glue is just basically giving you more of a immediate hold, and that wood glue is going to make it a permanent hold. So I'm sure everybody hears these things. Everyone says the same stuff: immediate hold and permanent hold. But the wood glue is important because the structures, it's not a heavy piece. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's not a heavy piece, but you want this thing to be able to withstand being moved or taken down and stuff like that. So after all of that is set and we're done, we're good to go. I'm just testing out to make sure my balance is good and everything is nice and even. We are going to move on to my favorite, distressing. So I'm going to take some white Waverly chalk paint. I'm sorry, that's folk art. It's folk art. If brands matter to you, the white paint that I have there in that little sauce cup is not ranch. Trust me. It's white paint. It's a chalk paint from folk art, home decor chalk paint, whatever. So that little chip brush I got at Lowe's because I've been meaning to try to find these cute little tiny short handle ones, and I cannot get my hands on any. I can't find any. You guys let me know if you have an idea of what kind I can use, because these chip brushes, say that 10 times. Whew. The chip brushes I'm getting are very, they're supposed to be very, they're not even bristles, and I'm okay with that, and I love the look I'm getting, so I'm dry brushing all over this thing. I do inside, outside, edge, top, and bottom. I end up doing the bottom on this too, trust me. I was just dry brushing everything, but look, see, that comes alive to me. Like, I'm getting excited just watching it back, recording this, because when you hit those edges and you get that really deep highlight on it, it makes me happy. these are the things I love to look at. So like if you have a specific style of decor or home decorating that you like, or a style, it's just, you'll know because it clicks with you, and you feel that warm fuzzy feeling, you know, like when you eat a cheeseburger. Obviously you guys know what my vice is, huh? It's not chocolate, I'll tell you that. Anyways, too much information, Whitney. TMI, girl. So now I'm going to attach the backpack on. How else am I supposed to say that? So I put hot glue around there, and then I'm standing it up so I can make sure that the base is even. And then you're going to see me place, there's one, and then we're going to place the second one on. And then I did some little magic cutting. Oh my gosh, what is up with my talking today? There's 2, there's 3, and here is 4. Boop. Ta-da. So I did a little bit of magic editing. I don't know if it looks sloppy or not. You guys let me know. Also, if you think I'm going too fast, let me know. I know that my normal style is to painstakingly tell you every detail, but I'm still trying to get that done. You guys let me know how you feel about this this style of video. So this right here is brown craft paper's tape. It's a paper tape. Now, this to me gives, in my opinion, I think this gives it a more custom finished look, because this is the stuff you normally see maybe on the back of like a custom framed piece of art. So for me, I didn't want to put popsicle sticks. I don't want to put anything that kind of, in my opinion, I hate to say it without sounding rude, it looks unprofessional or it looks cheap to me. So I don't want to use popsicle sticks. I try to cover the backs of most things with brown paper, craft paper, but I wanted that to look nicer. I felt that paper craft tape looked better. And that is also available in my Amazon shop should you not be able to find any. So I just placed my letters inside my HME, and now I'm taking that big beautiful wreath. It's a eucalyptus rub-on transfer pack that you can get at Dollar Tree. It's a very popular pack. It's been around for a long time. I got my hands on 2 of them probably last year. I have not seen them since. Now, I don't normally go to Dollar Tree every week or anything, but I've been to them quite often and I have not seen it since. So if you have one, you guys are lucky. Now, I took the cover off of my box cutter there, and I'm going to use that as my spacer. So I'm going to take all my letters, I'm going to put a decent amount of glue on the back of them, and I'm going to push them down so that I'm pressing them onto the top of that cutter cover, so that way I know they're all even, at least as far as where they're centered in each house. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Sometimes it's hard to even describe what I'm doing, and it's like I'm watching myself do it, but it's like, am I making sense to you guys? I'm really sorry if I'm not. So this was in order for me to make sure that every single letter was at the same height. Now, the distance between the edges, that's something I just eyeballed. That is what it is. I think that is a good job, and I actually like the spacing. So here I'm going to apply my transfer. Now, I got some rub-on transfers from Amazon, and that's the package you see there right off to the left. And they came with these really nice, thick wooden, I guess it's not a popsicle stick, it's not a tongue depressor, but it's the same thing. It's basically a burnishing tool or a rubbing tool, and it's got a perfectly flat edge on it. So I've been using this for all of my rub-on transfers that I have. Now, Dollar Tree doesn't give you anything. It just says, hey, rub on it. Here you go. Take this, rub on it. So anyways, again, you guys, nothing if not self-entertained. Welcome if you're new. Hopefully, yeah, either you'll like my humor or you won't, one or the other. So after that's all done, I'm checking to make sure nothing peels up, and then I take that plastic piece that it peels off of it, and I'm rubbing over it, and that's called burnishing. That I've learned from the IOD transfers. I just do that with every transfer, whether it's a Dollar Tree transfer or a very expensive IOD transfer. It is what it is. I just do it. It seems to make things a little bit smoother. Sometimes it does a little bit of buffing technique. I'm not sure. Now I'm taking my chalk paint, and I'm also distressing my letters. Now I felt like I did a little bit too much white because they were kind of getting drowned out. So I got my Waverly chalk paint black, which is called ink, and I went over it again just to darken it. And you won't see it here, but later, guys, I still wasn't happy, so I took a very small paintbrush, and you'll see here, and I darkened just the centers. So on the center of each letter, here I'll show you really close, I went back over it so that there wasn't any white in the specific main pieces of those letters. Hopefully that also makes sense. I didn't want too much, white chalk paint distressing on that. So now we get to sit and watch me fiddle and fuss with ribbon. So none of this actually goes into it. I'm just gonna let you know up front. I made some finger bows. I got my little bucket of throwaways or garbage out. I have a bunch of finger bows in there too, and I was just trying to see, did I already have a bow made? So I was like, no, this one's a different size. Let me see. Let me make a new bow. So now this bow is super cute, but when you see here in a second, I put it on top of that wreath, and I felt like it was just too big. It's hiding too much of it. Now, remember, I'm always saying, sure, like, that's actually really cute. Now I'm looking at it. Dang it. Well, anyways, what I did was cute too, so we'll see. Now, this is it's a single regular bow. It's like a shoelace bow, so I tied this one like I was tying shoelaces. And here I am messing with the loops, trying to get them smaller, changing the sizes, and then adjusting the ribbon pieces and getting those folds correct just so I could get it to lay on there to see if I like it. And you guys, I'm telling you right now, this is sped up like 3.5 times. And here, I was just in frustration pulling it out, and I'm like, oh, I left a knot in it. I was like, hold on, let me just cut this other side. And then I got excited. I was like, oh, this is very simple and so easy. It's like, keep it simple, stupid kind of thing. You're like, oh my gosh, look. All you got literally just tie a knot in a piece of ribbon and glue it on there. And I think that that is perfect for the size. It's proportionate. And when I set that on there, I'm happy. So I went with that. Now that finger bow is like a double finger bow, super cute finger bow. It's like very few of those come out that cute the first time I try to tie them. So that went back into my pot, and we will be using it again for something else in the future, I guarantee you. And that's also the farmhouse ribbon from Dollar Tree there. If you see that spool, I love that farmhouse ribbon. It's like a ticking type pattern, but so cute. So here we are with the Dollar Tree Spanish moss. I went with this darker brown color or the gray color, and you're going to see me do some cuts here. I fluffed and messed with the Spanish moss so much. I'm just applying it to mostly some of the corners. There's no rhyme or reason, no pattern, just place it where you think it would look good. And it started to give more of that rustic-y, I want to say barn feeling, but it really is a farmhouse thing. So I put in the Spanish moss. Now I'm going to end up adding some more later. And this is just preliminary, but you'll see just a few little pieces of Spanish moss. I glued that in. So now I've got a stem of cotton from Hobby Lobby that I've had for, literally guys, I've had it for years. I'm not going to lie, I've had it for years, but you can still get it there. And then that little other bundle there is like a little tiny thing of baby's breath that I got at Michael's a few years ago too. I haven't bought flowers for ages. But these things are all things that you could get. I know that you can get baby's breath even at Dollar Tree if you get there at the right time. So I just added a couple pieces of cotton, and then I just pulled the little pieces of baby's breath off of the bundle and then just started tucking them into the Spanish moss and gluing them. And things were starting to come together, and I knew, see, you guys ever watch me? You will see, if you guys ever watch me. We're watching a video, Whitney, seriously? You ever ask yourself the most dumbest questions and then go, I actually said that out loud. Seriously, I did. Anyways, moving on. I just started tucking these little things in and saying, this is like the exciting part. This is the part that's just like things start to fall into place. And the way that these little white baby's breath pieces, I thought maybe that you guys would like to see what I'm doing instead of watching from far away, because even I'm squinting right now and I'm sitting right in front of the monitor. Any hoodle. I needed to add a little bit more moss there because I felt like I wanted that little cotton on that right side. Dang it. So, went and got my Spanish moss back out, which also meant I had to clean up the desktop and then vacuum it again. Yeah, I have issues. But anyways, who doesn't, right? We're all the same. So, adding glue, and I'm tucking in all these little pieces. So, I'm pulling them off of the bundle, and then a couple of them there, you'll see me cut the ends off. But then I'm making them different lengths so I can stick them into little different areas. So I basically cut the end of that one off, and then I'm gluing it right there in the corner. Now, a lot of this is kind of little tiny, I call it fussy cutting or fussy work. You might know fussy cutting if you're familiar with the term when you're making cards, like birthday greeting cards or scrapbooking. But you are really getting down into these tiny little details. So you're doing a lot of little cuts and placing things in and putting little tiny picks here and there. I did not actually burn my fingers, guys. You'd be proud of me. I did not burn my fingers with any of this. I used little tools or sticks or leftovers here and there, and I did not injure myself. I'm so proud also. Now watch something like show up overnight, like, oh yeah, I forgot. Completely like cut my finger off and left it there by accident. Just kidding. That was kind of morbid. Sorry, guys. Anyways. Let's see. Sometimes you ever wonder, it's like, I need an adult. Oh wait, I am supposed to be the adult. My bad. Continuing on, I was trying to make it even, but not even. So if that makes sense to you, you might understand. I just wanted things to be even in a sense that it's all the same, meaning it's the same design, you got the same textures, the same elements, but none of it looked like it was in the same place. Like none of it was purposely done identical. Nothing was cookie, there we go, cookie cutter. Nothing was cookie cutter about it. So I needed to add some stuff to the roofs. I didn't want them to be too empty, but if you notice, when I'll show you the pictures, you can see the E at the very end, I did not put anything at the top. I already added things to the two tallest pieces on the H and the M, but that E at the very end, I left that one alone. The O has enough Spanish moss around it, and sometimes it's just hard to try to explain your design reasoning, because half the time I don't know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. It's just something that happens. Let me know in the comments, guys, do you have a specific pattern that you always follow? Do you have a system or an equation that you go by and you follow it to the T, or is it just let me sit down and see what inspires me? Because that's what happened with this. I knew what I wanted to do, but the rest of it came together as I was sitting there. I was like, okay, let me go get the Spanish moss. Let me go look and dig. Oh, I know I have a couple pieces of cotton. I knew I wanted to use those eucalyptus rub-on for the O, but that's about it. The rest of it kind of just fell into my lap because I've got so much junk. I have such a big stash, it's ridiculous. Almost off-putting if you're not a crafter. So that's it. I mean, look how cute it is. The colors are perfect. I love that celery green. It's a very light green that I would leave up year-round. I would leave this up year-round and add things to it for fall, add things to it for Christmas. This is a sign that you can literally just change with your seasons, change with your decorating, and you will never have to put it away or pack it or find somewhere to store it. This is Farmhouse, and I love that scrapbook paper. I love it. It was so effortless, and it's a thick cardstock too. It's a very nice paper. So guys, go grab you that at Hobby Lobby because that stuff is going to come in handy. Get 5 different colors, and I cannot wait to use more of it. I love this. This turned out so wonderful. So that's it, guys. This was a quick video. I know it's just one item, but there were a lot of moving parts. So let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you do with yours. It's just another piece of inspiration. We all kind of share each other's, ideas and thoughts. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you for everything. You guys have been the best community. You're very supportive, and I love you. You do. I really do love you guys. Every single one of you, no matter what. We love, we love the same things, so we end up showing each other the same in kind. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. You're doing a great job of that so far already. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye-bye for now.